Hey everybody out there on the internet, it's time for another edition of Skate Etiquette, and this time I'm covering June and July of 2020. Sorry, I had other business to take care of, so guess what? You get double the snark this time around. You should be so lucky! Whatever, roll the intro. Forget about calling John Julio the president. We should rename him to James Brown, because he's the hardest working man in rollerblading. I mean, did you see momentum? He is doing tricks in this edit that make me question what I'm doing with my life. We are both at level 4 and I still don't skate this well. Guess I'm gonna have to step up my game. Me without any PEDs. Although, John, I implore you, could you quit playing around trains? Leave that to the heroin addicts. Professor X was spotted in Spain wearing Richie Eisler Aeons and tearing up the streets with my skate waifu, Mary Munoz. I really hope my girlfriend doesn't discover that. Nah, it doesn't matter, no one watches this part of the channel anyway. He is literally mutating skating into some kind of hardcore parkour type of rollerblading that I am both intrigued and scared of. I hope this doesn't mean in 5 years, skaters will be jumping through cars and swinging on playground equipment into grinds, because if that happens, I'll just quit. All this video does is reinforce my need to go to Barcelona and skate before I give up the ghost. Fortunately, I'm not going to have any way of getting there, because unless I could possibly hornswoggle some saps into doing a Kickstarter for me, I just don't see it happening. Speaking about the Canadian destroyer, Richie Eisler decided to go to China and grind on the most buttery ledges created by man that also just happened to be blessed by the sweat droplets of Mike Murda Johnson. I mean, just look at this. This man is parallel to the ground with his back royale. Somebody needs to contact Bill Nye, Mr. Wizard, and Carl Sagan, because this fool just broke physics. And I don't mean the frames. The actual thing that a lot of people deny right before I drop a science tome on their thick skulls. And I know Power Slide is not exactly known for great salaries, but Richie, honestly, if you needed some money for transportation, I would gladly spare you some cash so that you didn't have to make all these transfers to get where you're going. I am so glad to see that a member of Slayer finally got their own Razors Pro Skate. Think of this evolution we've gone through. Shima, to Aragon, to this! It's amazing! Although I will say, Iron Maiden better step up their game if they want their Remedies Pro model to come out by 2021. Derek Henderson is the kind of guy I would be terrified to see out on the street. He's big, like 8'7" big. He has hops that make Michael Jordan blush. And he skates with his daughter. That is a man you do not fuck with, because he will kick your ass if you interrupt their skate date. Then he'll channel his inner Chris Farmer and grind on top of a tennis net just to make you look silly. And then the icing on the cake is that he'll kick your ass back to the Henry Rollins band entourage you slithered out from. Mr. Soderbergh, we need to talk about your cold sandwich. I don't know if you got the memo, but everything in this edit is about as cold as Mario landing in the magma of Lethal Lava Land. I got 6 minutes of West Coast Kelso skating, which is about 3 minutes above the recommended daily dose. If this video was any longer, I would have needed to talk to my doctor about Mirapex and if it would be right for me. My favorite clip is where you combine Jesus and Dustin Latimer to create that ender. That was a stroke of genius. In fact, someone should take that trick and create a whole religion around it and get tax-exempt status. So USD just gave another Carlos a pro skate. I'm pretty sure that's a record somewhere. And this time they gave it to a guy who still thinks it's 2003. Where does Powerslide find these people? There's skating with reckless abandon, and then there's a Carlos Bernal section. This guy throws tricks like he wants to test the limits of Spain's healthcare system. And to be honest, I would do the same thing if I had it here. The only thing missing from this edit is a pair of baggy sweatpants and a beanie. Hell, if you'd have laid down a dilated people's track underneath this, I'd have been fooled. Apparently one of Santa's reindeer escaped the North Pole and decided to film a whole bunch of skaters ripping up Europe. And to be honest, I actually applaud the Caribou for his editing and music choices. I felt like I was surrounded by wood paneling and Lynyrd Skynyrd albums. This whole video is the end result of having energy and free time. Two things I wish I had more of, because as I'm watching this, they're making me tired from putting forth all this effort. Oh man, I need caffeine stat. Another Moses sighting? Dude is making more appearances than the original. At this rate, I'm gonna have to attend skating Sunday school with this kid. We all had that one guy in town that could skate, but maybe not with the most grace. And every time he would attempt a trick, you would literally be scared to see if he lived or died. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting when I watch Robbie Moe here. It's that ballsy type of skating where the dude doesn't care if they live or die. They're really awesome at it too, but you just wish they had better skates so they could become a proper ripper. So we had a dude like that in my hometown who wore shitty Chicagos like this, and it was amazing! He would 360 over bike racks, and he 180'd off a roof in those things! And watching Robbie Moe skate is like having a flashback of that from 20 years ago! Thanks for the nostalgia, bro! Well, Hawk Trackler emerged with another edit highlighting Ohio because I guess he thought, holy shit, it's another wild Brando sighting! What are the chances of that, and me without my Ultra Ball to catch him? Excuse me, Mr. Panda, if you're trying to recreate the Dustin Latimer car skating scene, you gotta get to it before Ken and Ryu attack it for bonus points? Or did you grind the car so much that it naturally caught fire? Although a word of warning for you guys, you better watch what you're doing, because otherwise the local police are going to catch on to your shenanigans, and then they're going to make skating illegal. And the worst part of that is that you're going to finally realize that you live in Ohio and become depressed. Well, Julian Notbaugh of Tall Boys decided to release an edit, and it was a great thing to see that there are still skate spots in the tri-state area after the fall of the Brooklyn banks. Although, could you really give this broke-ass Mario a little bit of slack? I mean, his life sucks already. And can we talk about this dude on the phone? He just missed a nice trick where you Superman'd up to the second step. What is so great on that phone? Is he looking at hamsters and banana hammocks? I know that's probably riveting, but come on, bro. And Notbaugh, do you have a Patreon or something so I can give you a little support for new pants? In some clips, you have some really beautiful vintage Senate cargos, and then in others, you have a pair that looks like a goat ate your ass off. I want to give you some money to support you, bro. Pants are a necessity. I know skating is going in all weird directions now, but I have to ask you guys at Hedon Skate something. What coked up fever dream did you have to come up with this? The forest? Really? This isn't fucking Endor! What I really want to know is who fashioned this king trail? I don't know if it's the video quality, but it looks like you're grinding an oak tree. And if that's true, we need to get Bob Vila and Ty Pennington on the phone so we can have this at every skater's house. Well, thankfully, the only thing you broke out there in the forest were some tree branches, and not your own asses. Look, I understand we need to be social distancing, but we are rollerbladers after all. That does all the social distancing for us. Oh, God game, what can I say about you? Other than the fact that I thought I ordered a skating video and not some avant-garde French film, the only thing missing from this was a black and white empty room with a toppled over chair and some French girl just saying, wait. Well, Babby Spazoff reminds me of Brandon Smith from JSF. He has little emotional range and he nails tricks in a stupid solid way. It just looked like every time he went for a trick, he wasn't even ready to do it, and then BAM! It's done. Let me demonstrate. And then all of a sudden he yells fuck and it reboots his internal processor. And then Nils Janssen, good God, he must really like mescaline because he's hitting every drop he can find in this. The guy is looking to throw his carcass down any set of steps that might have impending doom on the other side. Some of his tricks had me sitting there thinking, you know, I should call my mother and tell her how much I love her because some of these tricks could end your life. So after watching this, I was kind of amped on Rossi's skates because I haven't really seen them look good since Josh Petty was destroying them back in the day. Not like what he's doing now. But in reality, this is a really good VOD with two of the best in the game. Oh, I finally get it! Cool! And they have a nice friends section, and it's pretty solid. If I had one thing to go against it, it's the fact that there's no B-roll. I kind of like that behind-the-scenes stuff that goes into a trick. Yeah, it's in the credits and whatnot, but it just doesn't have the same feel. So that's why I give this VOD a deck of cards out of 10. Don't ask me what that means. For you jaded and cynical rollerbladers from the early 2000s who can't wrap your head around what's going on with rollerblading nowadays, do me a favor. Buy a copy of Candy and kindly shut the fuck up. For those of you who are newer to the scene and are tearing things up and can't understand why these crotchety old douchebags keep insisting that rollerblading has fallen apart because it's not like it used to be in the early 2000s, do me a favor, buy this video, and shut the fuck up! Wait. Did I just tell myself to shut the fuck up? Whatever. You who are watching this video, do yourself a really good favor. Buy Candy and shut the fuck up! You want skating that reminds you of words, bang, ego? You got it. You want skating that looks like the fish guys without the Philly cheesesteak and Yingling smell? You got it! This is one of those homie videos where there's no filler. Absolutely none. It's like superheroes of the underworld except in Texas. So take that for what it's worth. My only slight against this video is the fact that they have the gall to go back to that skate spot where Jason Howard damn near bled to death in VG-14. I mean, other than that, it's pretty solid skating. And for 42 minutes, it should definitely solve everybody's problems of, well, rollerblading, I don't know what it is. It works. And that's why I give this VOD a 5-pound bag of Jolly Ranchers out of 10. So please, kindly support this video and shut the fuck up! This month, I promise it's not going to be a rant about some vintage video section. In fact, it's the complete opposite. It's a plea deal for John Elliott. Please come back, John, please! Because if you have ever watched a John Elliott section, you know it's good. But there's so few. And the one that I wanted, I couldn't even find on YouTube, so I went with Bo Coddington's Respect. Because it's this nice, beautiful supercut of John Elliott skating for 4 minutes. Where have you gone, John Elliott? Our skate nation turns its lonely eyes to you. Ooh, what's that you say, Mr. Eisenberg? Jim and John has left and gone away. You need to watch this just for the sickest Mizu ever recorded in the history of humanity. And it's not just me. I guarantee you there are a ton of people who miss John Elliott's skating. And I'm pretty damn sure that if I started some sort of crowdfunding project to get him to put an edit out, it would be funded within 24 hours. Of course, then I'd have to come up with some crazy stretch goals that would probably end me up in some legal troubles, but it would be worth it! So those are my thoughts and opinions on the latest and greatest rollerblading videos. Are my opinions good or are they garbage? Let me know down below in the comments section and I'll be sure to ignore them. Oh, and if you think that your edits are any good, hit me up on Instagram at RollerGeezer and I'll give them a look. But be warned, you better have a skin of steel because Lord only knows what I might say about you, your mother, your dog, your family, anybody involved. Just a warning. Well, that's all I have for this time, so I'll see you again some other time. And please, John Elliott, come back! I don't need you becoming vaporware like TJ Weber!
What's going on? My name's John. This is my section. Hope your fingers are nice and sore from hours of playing, so enjoy yourselves.